The Buffalo Bills finally have their star on offense, and it's coming in a year 3 breakout. Josh Allen has been clamoring for his wide receiver one, and he finally gets it, but not in the form that we would have thought. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Digest Bills. Josh Schreiber here, and I'm excited to talk to you about why the Bills finally have their missing piece on offense that will help them get over the top and get to a Super Bowl. Before we get started, about 67% of you guys are subscribed to this channel. We appreciate you guys watching, and we would love it if you guys could click that subscribe button and follow along for more daily content for Digest Bills. But with that being said, guys, let's dive right into it. Dalton Kincaid has been absolutely phenomenal for the Bills this year after a somewhat disappointing first 2 years in the NFL. He's got over 280 yards this year and 3 touchdowns, as you see there. And this has been something the Bills have been missing for really years. They have not had a dominant tight end. We saw them draft Dawson Knox and give him some money. He has been solid, but certainly not a number one option for the Bills. And this is what Dalton Kincaid provides you. Now, you go back to the Patriots game where Dalton Kincaid led all receivers for the Buffalo Bills with 108 yards. He was tied for the lead with 6 receptions. And Dalton Kincaid brings a level to this offense that we have not seen for the Bills really since they had Stephon Diggs. Now, why is it important that the Bills have an elite tight end? And do they still need to have that elite receiver to be successful? Well, the answer is no. Dalton Kincaid has been so dominant. We have seen these quarterbacks and tight end duos absolutely dominate the NFL. You look at Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, Drew Brees and Jimmy Graham. The list goes on for teams that have had a tight end absolutely dominate. Now, what makes a tight end so good? I go to Hall of Fame coach Sid Gilman, who said it simply. You put a real tough tight end with good hands in the hash area, that is the middle of the field, and there won't be anyone who can cover him. You really control the passing game that way. And you look at it from that perspective, and you see that if the Bills can use Dalton Kincaid to dominate the middle of the field, then it creates openings for guys like Khalil Shakir, guys like Keon Coleman, guys like even Elijah Moore underneath to run with the ball in his hands. They need to be able to create separation, and when you have the middle of the field on lock with Dalton Kincaid who can just get open and make catches, that is where things can really boom. Phenomenal when targeting Dalton Kincaid, and that's all you can ask for. In the middle of the field is when you're going to get the easiest passes, the quick passes, and Dalton Kincaid has been that for the Buffalo Bills. So we see those efficiency numbers from Dalton Kincaid, but to really put it into perspective on what he's doing against his peers in the league, and not just wide receivers, not just tight ends, not just running backs, but all three combined, as we see these numbers here from Anthony Cover 1. Dalton Kincaid receiving rankings among 140 qualifying position players, 6th in EPA per target, 12th in receiving EPA, 6th in yards per route, 10th his catch rate over expected, meaning he is making these plays when the general analytics would tell you that they shouldn't be, the average receiver would not be making this catch. And he has been absolutely phenomenal. Now, where that number drops off, you see 53rd in target rate. And that is something that Joe Brady and the Buffalo Bills are going to have to work on. They have to get Dalton Kincaid the ball more. Now, what does this mean for the offense? Obviously, when you have a tight end like Dalton Kincaid, you need to be able to utilize him in the offense. And when you have a team that runs the ball so much, like the Buffalo Bills, you need your tight ends to be blocking more as well. Now, how can the Buffalo Bills really improve and really get better when it comes to targeting Kincaid? And that is the question that Joe Brady is going to have to answer. Now, one thing the Bills have really enjoyed doing is utilizing a guy in Jackson Hawes, one of their extra tight ends, in the blocking game. What they can really improve on is having that play action pass get going. If you can utilize Dalton Kincaid in the play action a little bit more, that can certainly help him. And then even in, a shotgun formation or anything like that where Josh Allen is just dropping back to pass, Dalton Kincaid has been very, very good. Let's see those receiving yards among tight ends this season. And one thing to notice, you don't see Brock Bowers on there. Trey McBride just under Dalton Kincaid. And Dalton Kincaid trailing just Tyler Warren, who having a phenomenal season with 287 passing yards, that is, for Kincaid. Now, Joe Brady has some work to do. Obviously, he needs to utilize Dalton Kincaid as a pass catcher. He's great after the run, or after the catch, I should say, and the Bills really need to target him more, as we see with this right here on the target rate. Dalton Kincaid, a star in the making for the Buffalo Bills. So I'll take you back to this quote from Hall of Fame coach Sid Gilman about how having a tight end can open up the offense. And there are so many examples of this where you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce who have dominated the past 5-6 years with having your tight end be your number one option. You've seen other receivers around them be successful. We saw it with the Patriots. The Patriots never really had a top wide receiver outside of, Randy Moss for a season. Julian Edelman really played probably above what he was truly capable of because he was a separator. He got open, and defenses had to key in on Rob Gronkowski. They can no longer do that. At least the Bills can no longer key in on guys like Khalil Shakir, on guys like Keon Coleman, because they have to monitor Dalton Kincaid. And if the Bills can utilize him as that Travis Kelce type, the type that Dalton Kincaid was compared to coming out of Utah in college, that is going to be how the Bills are going to get over that hump and convert on those big third downs, convert on those big fourth downs against teams like, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are going to take away the deep ball, and that middle of the field is going to be open. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Dalton Kincaid is the future of this Bills offense.